Welcome to the Explainer. If you've felt like searching for stuff online is, well, just different lately, you are absolutely not imagining things. A massive battle is underway for the future of how we find information, and we're calling it the new search war.
All right, so here's what we're going to cover. First, why the old search is dead. Then we'll look at the weapons of this new war, meet the four big players, check out their playbook, and then peek into the future and what this all means for us. Let's dive in.
Okay, first up, the old war is over. To really get how big of a deal this new war is, we have to take a quick trip back in time. Back to a world we all knew and, let's be honest, kind of took for granted. The world of the 10 blue links.
So check this out. The real story here, the seismic shift, is all about who's doing the work. For 20 years, search engines basically handed us a list of ingredients, a bunch of links, and said, okay, you go figure it out. The cognitive load, all that heavy lifting of piecing things together from a dozen open tabs, that was on us. But this new paradigm, it flips the script completely. Now, the AI is the chef. It does the synthesis for you.
And this is what really lit the fuse. Think about the first time you used something like ChatGPT. It was kind of magical, right? And almost overnight, our patience for being what this quote calls information archaeologists, for doing that digital grunt work, it just evaporated. Poof. Suddenly, a list of links felt like a chore. We don't want clues anymore. We wanted the answer.
All right, section 2. So if this is a war, what are the weapons? Let's pop the hood and look at the actual tech, the infrastructure that every single player needs to even have a fighting chance.
Okay, weapon number 1 is something called embedding retrieval. This is a huge deal because it solves a classic search problem, the vocabulary mismatch. You search for one thing, but the perfect article uses slightly different words. This tech fixes that. It's about understanding concepts, not just keywords. So if you type in large feline predators, it knows you also mean tigers, lions, panthers, even if you didn't type those exact words. It's a massive leap from just matching words on a page to actually understanding what you mean.
Next up is a piece of tech called Retrieval-Augmented Generation, or RAG for short. And this is basically the solution to the AI's two biggest and, frankly, scariest problems. Number 1, its knowledge is often out of date, and number 2, it has a tendency to just make stuff up. We call those hallucinations. RAG is the answer. It's like a chaperone that connects the AI's super powerful brain to the live internet, but in a way that keeps it grounded in facts. So here's how it works, and the open book exam analogy is perfect. For every single question you ask, the system first goes out and does a quick search on the web for the latest, most relevant facts. Then it takes those facts and hands them to the AI like a little cheat sheet. And this is the crucial part. It tells the AI, okay, generate your answer, but only use the information on this cheat sheet. It completely changes the game. The AI goes from being the static, dusty old library to a dynamic thinker that can give you up-to-the-minute, fact-based answers.
Okay, time to meet the contenders. This isn't just a two-way fight. The battlefield is crowded, with 4 major players on the field, and each one is coming at this with a totally different strategy.
All right, this table lays it all out. First up, the undisputed champion, Google. They're basically playing defense. Their advantage is just insane scale. They have the index, the user data, Android, Chrome, you name it. But they're stuck in what's called the innovator's dilemma, right? How do you invent the future when that future might kill the golden goose that is your current ad business? It's a tough spot. Then you've got OpenAI, the pure disruptor. They have the best-in-class AI with GPT-4, but their big challenge, they don't have their own web index. They're borrowing a key piece of the infrastructure from partners like Bing. Next in the ring, Microsoft with Copilot. They're playing the long game, the ecosystem play. They're weaving AI into everything, Windows, Office 365, trying to build this action layer right where you work. Their problem? Getting us all to break the Google habit. And finally, you have the scrappy underdog, Perplexity AI. They're the answer engine, built from day one to be AI native with a laser focus on showing you their sources. But can they actually scale and build a business that can compete with these giants? That is the billion-dollar question.
So this war isn't just happening in Silicon Valley. If you create anything for the web, a blog, a business, anything, the rules of the game have just been rewritten. The old playbook, search engine optimization or SEO, it's not going to cut it anymore. We need a new one. Welcome to the era of GEO, Generative Engine Optimization.
So what is geo? The big idea here is actually pretty simple, but the implications are huge. You no longer have just one audience. You've got your human readers, of course, but now you have a second incredibly important audience, the AI systems themselves. So every piece of content you make has to be designed to be understood, consumed, and trusted by both.
And to win at Geo, your content basically has to pass 3 tests. Think of it like a series of gates. First, retrievability. Can the AI even find your stuff? That's just the ticket to the game. If it can't find you, you don't exist. Second, extractability. Once it finds you, can it easily pull out the key facts? If your content is a jumbled mess, the AI will just move on. And third, the highest bar, trust. Is your content credible enough for the AI to put its own reputation on the line and cite you as a source? You have to clear all 3 of these hurdles to have a chance.
Okay, so rule number 1, optimize for findability. This is about going way beyond just stuffing keywords into a page. You need to think of your content as a map for the AI. You do that by writing really comprehensive stuff that covers a topic from all angles, by adding good metadata like alt text and transcripts, and by using structured data to literally label the information for the machine. You're making it impossible for the AI to get lost. Rule number 2 is all about extractability. You want to make your content as easy as possible for an AI to digest. We're talking short paragraphs, bullet points, numbered lists, clear headings, basically cut the fluff and get to the point. And what's so cool about this is that everything you do to make your content better for an AI, well, it also makes it way, way better for your human readers. It's probably the best win-win in this entire new landscape.
And finally, rule number 3, and this is the big one, optimize for trust. You have to prove your credibility. Google has this acronym EEAT, which stands for expertise, experience, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. And you signal this in all sorts of ways, having clear author bios that show who wrote the content, citing your sources like a good academic paper, and making sure your website is technically sound and secure. You're basically building a case for why the AI should believe you. All right, so where is all this headed? Because let's be clear, this war is far from over. We're maybe in the top of the 2nd inning. So let's look ahead to the next frontier. The battlefield is about to get a whole lot bigger and a whole lot weirder. We're moving beyond just typing words into a box. Soon, searching with an image or your voice will be totally normal. And the whole goal of search is shifting from just giving you answers to taking actions. So the AI won't just tell you about flights to Paris, it'll book the one you want right there. This means the battle shifts from a single search engine to entire ecosystems. Google versus Microsoft versus Apple. And all the while, powerful open source models will keep popping up, letting new players jump into the fight.
Okay, we've gone through the tech, the players, the new rules, which brings us to one last really important thought about this new reality we're all stepping into. And really, it all comes down to this one question. As these systems get more and more powerful, as we start handing over the keys and letting them take actions on our behalf, how do we make sure they're accurate, that they're trustworthy and transparent? This isn't just a tech problem for engineers to solve in a lab. This is a huge societal challenge for all of us, because the outcome of this new search war isn't just about which company makes the most money. It's about shaping the very fabric of our digital world, the information reality we're all going to be living in. And that's a conversation we all need to be a part of.